Yo guys, I'm up in Yorkshire today. I've got a cool location planned for today's video. I'm going to be doing some climbing, and I'm also just going to be talking about some of my experiences, namely how I ended up looking like this. But yeah, first things first, I'm going to rig out the slack line, or attempt to rig out the slack line between these two trees. Send it 3 attempts. Let's go. Yeah, I'm really struggling using the ratchet here. I think I'm going to have to make an emergency call to my brother. This is why I rely so much on people to do practical things. I need to get my act together. Oh, Steve? Alright, can you help me with trying to figure out how to use the ratchet? So I decided to give this vlogging thing a go, and it's something that I've been interested in doing for a long time. I really enjoy creating content, and I'm always sort of the guy that's got his camera with him, taking videos, taking stills. So yeah, now that the competition season for climbing isn't really happening, I just figured there's no better time to do it. It's probably something that I've maybe put off in the past, just because I'm thinking, am I really that kind of person? Is it something I'm comfortable doing? Will I be too awkward? Am I really any good at it? And then I saw a video by a guy called Jimmy the Giant who produces some really good parkour content, and it basically really sort of motivated me into doing this and giving it a shot, because there was a key point that I really resonated with, whereby he said we can have a mindset sometimes where we're not good at something and we're not comfortable with it, but we can change that mindset just by applying practice to something. Anything that you're not good at or not comfortable with, you can become good at and comfortable with just by practice, just by repetition. And to me, that was a really important point, because not only can it apply to something like what I'm doing now, speaking to a camera, but just speaking in front of people in general. I thought it was a really important point. But yeah, so I have been producing content on my paraclimbing Instagram page. Check out that if you want to have a look at that stuff. But obviously the way Instagram is set up is it's much more designed for punchy, snappy content, short videos, and I wanted to create something a bit longer with some more details, some more feature-length edits, and YouTube just seemed the right platform to do that. So that's my plan here. Just to introduce myself then to people that don't already know me or are familiar with me. My name's James Rudge. I was born without the lower part of my left arm. Despite what I may have told people back in the day, stories namely I lost my arm in a shark attack, or the best one was I was testing out a jetpack, went to scratch my ass and it burned off, and people actually believe that, I'm ashamed to say. Yeah, not my proudest moment, but being born without it definitely means that I'm more comfortable and everything's more natural to me. I don't have to adapt like someone else might have to. But yeah, I'm now in my 2nd year on the GB paraclimbing squad, which has been amazing. My background is vastly parkour related, but climbing is my main focus now. And I'm also a trustee and co-founder of a charity called Bristol Inclusive Thrill Seekers. We basically enable people to try sports like parkour, climbing, and in an inclusive format, so that's really cool. And yeah, that's me. Now, some of you are probably not used to seeing me without any teeth, and that's probably because you've seen me wearing these before, just like your granddad. So I'm just gonna get rid of those. I was just gonna fill people in on my account of events from how this happened and how it might have affected me mentally in some ways. So essentially what happened was I had been going out for a meal with my friends for like a football five-a-side thing we had. Went out for a few drinks afterwards, and they decided to stay out. I had to get the bus home because I had a charity event the next day. And then my memory kind of seized from when I was going to get the bus onwards, which is to be expected when you've had concussion. It can go back beyond the point of impact or whatever. So next thing I know, I'm outside my front door, tapping on the door, trying to be let in. This is when I lived in my family home with my parents. I was sort of oblivious to what had happened. I was being like quiet, tapping on the door, because I didn't want to wake anyone up. Looked in the mirror and obviously saw what had happened, and yeah, basically broke down from there. Just the pure overwhelmingness of it. So yeah, I went to hospital. They explained that I was missing, I think, 4, 5, 6, I can't remember to be honest, but a lot of teeth. And yeah, the week following that basically was like a panorama investigation for me, trying to piece it together, because for all I know, anything could have happened. So basically what I was able to do to unfold these events in my head was, Google has this function. Now what I'm about to tell you may or may not encourage you guys to turn this function off, but it tracks you throughout the whole day. It puts place marks I think it's every few minutes on your exact location. So I was able to insert map here. I was able to see the path I took, and it was not a path I would take in any sort of state of mind other than pure confusion. I mean, I had had a few drinks, but I ate, and my memory was very constant until this point. So I don't think I would have, I obviously missed the bus, but I wouldn't have, if I was taking the walk home, there's no way I would have gone the path that you're seeing on the screen here. And it looks like I've almost gone down this road and done a loop on myself, and then come right back towards Bath and gone across the bridge, which is obviously every parent's worst nightmare, being concussed and like near the river, and then come back on myself and gone a completely different way. So it looks like I'm moving away from a dangerous situation. That's how the police saw it. It was filed as a crime and reported to the police. It was on the news. It was also like a social media appeal was put out, and I basically was also able to take the data from Google and extract it in a software that not only shows the place marks, but it shows the timing difference between the place marks. So I was able to see that suddenly when I was doing this loop, my speed increased quite considerably between the place marks as I was going back down towards the bridge. So it looks like I've been running away from something. And when I went to the dental hospital, they kind of said that because if you look at the scan here of what my teeth look like, I had this tooth here completely intact, and the one next to it is coming through now. It's actually working its way back down, but it was right up here in my eye socket. So the fact that I had two teeth that were completely uncorrelated in terms of damage, they thought I had taken a heavy impact up. To me, they kind of implied it was something like a knuckle duster. That's how I saw it, which is obviously, anyone that does that, just, it's terrible. But yeah, in terms of how the incident affected me mentally, it definitely sucks not having that sort of peace of mind, that clarity, knowing exactly what happened. There's so much of a difference between being a victim and a culprit of these kind of things, and not knowing is really annoying. Because of the area that it happened in, the police weren't able to get the CCTV they needed, and essentially no one was incriminated for it. So unfortunately I've had to sort of accept that I won't have that peace of mind. But yeah, that is enough of the negativity now. The situation is that implants are on the way. Before you know it, I'm going to have brand new Bobby Firminos, and I'll look like the man himself. I did agree basically to accept help in this instance because 13k is a lot of money. Teeth are worth big bucks, guys. And after speaking to my sort of parents and family, I decided that accepting help in this situation was okay, and I have started like a crowdfunding page. I'm not going to sort of share that on this video because that's not what this video is going to be about, But I will say, obviously, I greatly appreciate any support there, and if people want to help, drop me a line and I'll be very happy to sort of send you the link to that, and greatly appreciate that, of course. But the message of this video that I really wanted to talk about was things can get really bad, but they can also get really good after that. And end of 2018 is when this incident happened, and just the year 2019 was absolutely unreal for me, literally the best year of my life. And this is going to sound so cheesy, but I do believe that the lower you sort of fall, the higher you rise after it. That's so cheesy, I know, but I believe it, it's true. I'm pretty gutted because I came up to this spot and I saw this wall here. It's just behind like where I was intending on going for the main piece of the video, which is over there, which is the big ruins. But I saw this wall and I thought, this looks a perfect climbing problem. I should have climbed it when I first turned up, but I thought I'd get the vlog done first. I'm gonna have a little go, just not take my climbing shoes on or anything, but just have a little feel with the big jugs. But obviously it's damp, so I'm not going to be too stupid or anything, he says. Right, the wall itself is actually pretty grippy. It's just my shoes that let me down, so I've got my climbing shoes. I'm going to try and do a little transfer on the wall into these. Oh, what a fail. You know what? I'm actually really happy with that. It's not ideal to take that kind of impact your climbing shoes, especially, and to get them damp, but the actual wall itself was really quite grippy. So yeah, 2019, what a year it was. It was so good. It all started in February when we launched the charity, Bristol Inclusive Thrill Seekers. We had a launch event at Red Point Climbing Centre, and we've just built up such an amazing group of volunteers and participants. We're all really humbled by the experiences that we've had as a family, I would say. We've also, not long after setting up, we did a piece with BBC Three that linked into our launch event for Bits. I'll just plug a clip of that here.
It's also really rewarding feeling to give other people the opportunity to do that themselves and see them go through their own journey.
Yay! Nice. That looks overwhelming.
It is the only thing I can imagine doing with my life, I think.
And then obviously I received in March the news that I'd made the Great British Paraclimbing team. That blew me away. I was not expecting that for a second. I literally attended these events just for a bit of fun. I went to the selection event, and then not long after I got the news that I'd made the team. And it just blew me away to be part of such an inspiring group of athletes. Really humbling stuff. And then not long after that, I did, with a group of about 10 other people, friends of mine, we did a cycle ride from Bristol to Amsterdam to raise money for Bits. We raised over £5,000 in the end, and it was literally so much fun. So big thanks to all the support we got from everyone for that, and yeah, that was great. And then I actually was an extra in 1917. You may or may not have seen that in the cinema, but I did some extra work in that. I'll just plug a clip of that in there for people to see. And then I went to Glastonbury, which is I've been twice and it's absolutely brilliant. Then I had my first international competition in Briançon, France, the World Championships for the paraclimbing team, and that was an amazing experience. I took a lot from it because competition climbing was still very new to me then. The whole look at something once, you only get one attempt to send it. I've learned a lot from it, and I took a lot from the experience. It was really, really inspiring. And I think when I was there at the international competition, just witnessing so many adaptive athletes, people that couldn't see, people that literally were pulling themselves up a wall with with no legs, and it just blew me away. I felt very humbled to be part of such an experience, and inspired by the athletes around me, as I say. And then after that, I also did my parkour qualification so I could coach parkour for bits, and we brought the parkour sessions into the bit sessions, so that was another great achievement from that year. It was just an amazing year for me. I had so many good memories, so many landmarks and goals achieved, and my life really has changed a lot since that year. I've started to take my climbing much more seriously, of course, and bits has obviously been a massive part of my life as well. So good things happen after the bad things, guys. Always remember that. Right then, it's time to get the drone in the air, try and get some cool shots of this ruin that I'm near, and send Simone up. Simone the drone, let's go. I did see this really cool climb here, right next to it. It's bloody high, but it's easy to get up because there's loads of jugs, but getting down isn't so easy. Have a little feel of the surfaces. I'm not an absolute idiot, I promise. Just a little bit of one. Felt high enough. I could definitely get all the way up from there, but the surface was a little bit slippy and there's just a little slab at the top, but yeah, fun. Such a cool building. I'm just going to try a couple of challenges because it looks so sick for some fun. Shoes is an issue there. What a day. I literally got everything that I wanted to get down today. I was so happy with the spot that I found and the things I managed to get. It's a shame because just as the sunset turned really beautiful at the end there, my drone wouldn't go up in the air for the last battery. It wanted me to calibrate it and it was just, it wouldn't happen. But I'm chuffed. I'm on my way to Chesterfield now to stay at my coach's house, Jamie's, and then tomorrow I've got a coaching session with him, so I'm going to leave the video there. If you guys liked the video I made today and keen to see more, then yeah, feel free to subscribe and share the video. Help me get this thing going, and I'll look forward to doing the next one. Let's go.